When I look back now, I wonder how a single choice, one reckless decision, could set off a chain of events that destroyed everything I once held dear. My marriage, my home, my family, all of it collapsed because of me. I was the one who crossed the line first. But what I didn't know was that my husband's way of punishing me would end in a tragedy neither of us could ever have imagined. My marriage to Samir had been good, steady, comfortable, filled with routines and small comforts. He was a man who believed in hard work, in providing stability. We had been married for 8 years and had a 6-year-old daughter, Aanya. To outsiders, we looked like the perfect little family. But inside, I often felt invisible. Samir was always busy, either buried in his work or glued to his phone, managing clients even late at night. He loved me, I knew he did, but he rarely showed it. Our conversations became transactional: groceries, bills, school schedules. Somewhere along the way, the spark between us died, and I convinced myself that maybe I deserved more. That's how I let Vikram into my life. He was a colleague, charming and attentive, the kind of man who noticed when I wore a new dress or changed my hair. What began as casual lunches turned into secret meetings, and before long, I was entangled in an affair. I told myself it was harmless, just a way to feel alive again, but guilt gnawed at me every night when I tucked my daughter into bed and saw Samir asleep on the couch, exhausted from working so hard for us. I thought I was careful. I thought no one would ever find out, but secrets are never safe for long. One evening, Samir confronted me. His face was pale, his hands trembling as he held up my phone, unlocked to a string of messages I had carelessly forgotten to delete. "Who is he?" he asked, his voice low and controlled, which somehow terrified me more than shouting would have. I stammered, I begged, I denied at first, but the evidence was undeniable. Finally, I broke down and admitted it. Samir didn't scream. He didn't hit me. He didn't even cry. He just stared at me for a long time before saying in a flat tone, "You've destroyed me." I thought he would file for divorce immediately. I thought he would leave, take Aanya, and never look back. But he didn't. Instead, he became strangely calm, almost too calm. He told me he needed time to think. For the next few days, he acted normal around Aanya, even affectionate, but with me, he was distant, cold. Then, one weekend, he told me we were going on a family trip. "We need a fresh start," he said. "For Anya's sake, let's try to rebuild." My heart swelled with relief. Maybe he was willing to forgive me, to give us another chance. I clung to that hope desperately. We drove out to the countryside, to a secluded farmhouse owned by his cousin. It was quiet, peaceful, surrounded by fields. Aanya was thrilled, running around exploring, while I tried to help in the kitchen, desperate to show Samir that I could still be the wife he once loved. That night, after Aanya had gone to bed, Samir poured 2 glasses of wine and handed one to me. "I've been thinking," he said slowly. "Maybe we can move past this, but I need to know you're truly sorry." "I am," I whispered, tears streaming down my face. "I'll do anything." He studied me for a long moment, then nodded. "Good, then tomorrow I'll show you something. A way for us to leave all this behind." I didn't know what he meant. The next morning, he suggested we play a game with Aanya. He led us outside to the old barn behind the farmhouse. Inside there was a large wooden chest. He smiled faintly and told Aanya it was a treasure chest and that if she hid inside, we'd come find her. She giggled, excited, and climbed in without hesitation. I thought it was harmless fun. I thought it was just a silly prank. But then Samir shut the lid and locked it. "Samir!" I laughed nervously at first. "Don't scare her." But his face wasn't playful. His eyes were cold, his jaw clenched. "This is how it feels," he said quietly. "Trapped, suffocating, just like you trapped me with your lies." My blood ran cold. I rushed forward, pounding on the chest. From inside, Anya's giggles turned into frightened knocks. "Mama, Papa, it's dark," she cried. "Open it, Samir!" I screamed. "This isn't funny!" But he just stood there, arms crossed, watching me panic. "Do you know what it's like?" he said slowly. "To imagine your wife in another man's arms? To picture every detail, every betrayal? You killed me, Mira. Now you'll know how it feels to lose what you love most." I fell to my knees, sobbing, begging him. "Please, she's just a child!" "Punish me, not her, please." The knocks inside grew frantic, the cries turning desperate. Finally, after what felt like an eternity, Samir's expression shifted. His anger cracked, replaced by horror at what he had done. He rushed forward, fumbling with the lock. My hands shook as I tried to help him, but when we finally opened the chest, it was too late. Aanya lay still, her small face pale, her lips blue. The world stopped in that moment. My scream echoed through the barn, a sound I didn't recognize as my own. Samir collapsed beside her, clutching her tiny body, wailing in a voice I had never heard before. I didn't mean, he repeated over and over. But the truth was undeniable. His prank, his twisted attempt to make me feel his pain, had stolen the life of the one innocent soul we both loved more than anything. The days that followed were a blur of police, hospitals, and grief that swallowed us whole. Samir was arrested for negligence, though he insisted it was an accident. I didn't defend him. I couldn't. My heart was shattered, my soul hollow. I had destroyed our marriage with my betrayal, and he had destroyed our family with his revenge. People ask me sometimes where it all went wrong. Was it the moment I gave in to temptation with Vikram? Was it the moment Samir decided to punish me instead of leaving? I don't know. All I know is that one mistake led to another, and in the end, our little girl paid the price. Now, I live with ghosts, the ghost of my marriage, the ghost of my husband's laughter before it turned to bitterness, and the ghost of my daughter's voice calling, "Mama, it's dark." I will never forgive myself. And I will never forget the look on Samir's face when he realized that his harsh prank had gone too far. What began as betrayal ended in tragedy. And in that tragedy, there are no winners, only ruins.